So today is day 5 of our yoga challenge. I have to apologize. We had some technical issues yesterday. I'm not used to this YouTube thing, and I was doing a live session yesterday. Some of you got to see it, and it was just like half of the session was uploaded and half of it wasn't. Then I decided to take it down and do it all over again. So we are here back to day 5 of our yoga challenge. And I think one of the things I want to focus on our practice today is when things are not working. There will be days that you're going to wake up and you're not in the mood to be on your mat, and you're not in the mood to step into your routine or do things that are important for you to keep balance. This is part of the process. Everybody's going through this in one way or another. And it's really looking deep into how can I take a step forward to my well-being. And I promise you that you will never end up a practice, whatever practice you're choosing to do in that day, feeling worse than you felt before starting your practice. So that doesn't happen just because we're shifting energies. You might end up in a different place, but I always say that it's never in a worse place. Okay, let's go. Let's be on the edge of our mats and bring your hands into prayer position in the heart center. And just before we start our practice, make sure you have a block or a bolster and a bolster beside you. If you have a yoga belt, that's also necessary. Just put it on the side. Knowing me, everything can happen. It's always a surprise in these classes, right? We see what we flow. But it's nice to have your equipment ready beside you just in case you need. If we don't have a bolster, just pile up some cushions and just leave it on the side. Ready? Close your eyes. And let's take our attention now to the soles of our feet. Gentle sway of the body forwards and backwards, just feeling the weight of your own body against the floor. Lock your knee, lengthen the spine, then soften your knee, but keep that spine nice and lengthened. And here we start setting an intention for our practice today, that you find a way to move through resistance. You know, the mother of suffering is to start resisting things that we can't change, or resisting how we feel. And there's always other perspectives, and we can always find another way. And with a nice long deep breath, exhale through your mouth, and open your eyes. Let's have a slow and controlled big circle sideways. Keep your gaze forward. Inhale, let your fingers touch above your head. Exhale, let the hands relax beside your body. On a couple of these, inhale, big circles. Let your finger touch. Exhale, bring the palms of the hands down, facing the thighs. Last one, inhale, big circle. Exhale, relax it down. Nice. And let's micro bend the knees, feeling that steadiness on our thighs. And big circle again. Inhale, big circle. Exhale, drop the hands to the side. Inhale, big circle. Exhale, drop. This is the last one. Inhale, big circle. No movement in your neck as yet. Exhale, bring it down. And inhale, stay with your knees nice and bent. Push your bum back. So there's always the tendency to have an overarch. You just want to keep the natural bend of the back without pushing your hip far too forward or sitting far too back. Just a natural movement on your back. So you're still here with your knees bent. Stay there. And deep inhale. Let your arms swing. We're going to swing our arms forwards and backwards. It's not all the way up, halfway through. Look at the flexibility on the wrists, as if you're trying to brush the invisible by flexing the hands and flexing the wrists and having those fingertips also participate of the movement. So we're also warming up your wrists here. Now only the right arm will go backwards and the left will keep on pointing forward. Ready? Inhale, only the right. Sway, look back. Inhale, come back. Lock those knees. Left. No movement on your knees. Your toes are pointing forward all the time. Right. Natural sway, left. So you really keep on flexing the knees. You see a little bounce on my knees. So thighs are also receiving that warm up and down. Last one. Right, look back, and left, look back. And fingertips now point forward. Now come on the tippy toes lifting the heels off the floor. And very slow and controlled, start bending your knees, bending your knees, bending your knees, bending your knees, and there you go. Rest those hands down on the floor, and we're going to start to move our hands backwards so we can find ourselves into a sitting position. On this sitting position, slide yourself like halfway through your mat, and let's focus now on our right leg. Lifting the right leg off the floor, bringing it very close to your body, really giving yourself a tight hug here. Find your balance on your bum bones. For some of you, have to move the flesh so you can really feel the bum bones really digging into the mat so it gives you more balance. Right hand holds on the front part of your right shin and flex. So pay attention here that your foot is in flex and your knee is really pointing up towards the sky, and you're not rounding your spine or collapsing, but you're holding yourself quite strong on this pose. Start leaning backwards, but in one solid block. You're not rounding the spine. We're here, and lift, and stay. We're here for 5 conscious breaths. Lock that knee. If you start feeling tired, bring the leg down. Even place your left heel on the floor if this is the case. We have 3 to go. Both toes are in flex. 1 to go. Deep inhalation. Exhale. Place that foot down and cross over. Crossing over, keep this engagement of the left knee always pointing to the sky, and find your foot nice and flat. For some of you, can have it just on the outside of your knee, and some of you would need to have it very close to your ankle. So play and see what your body's keen to do for today. With that, grab, deep inhale, lengthen the left arm up. Exhale, full twist and bend. Halfway through, stop. Now we want the outside of the arm to push that leg. Top hand goes up and rests on your back. I'm gonna do it on the side so you can see what's happening from a different angle. And this is what you're seeing from behind. And I'm looking to the back of the room. Remember that the left hand is really putting force. So it really wants to get deeper into the twist. We have a very active left hand as you're looking backwards. Deepen the breath here. Spinal twists are fantastic to create a massage on your internal organs. That's why we really have to deepen the breath here. 1 to go. Nice. Now keep this gaze slow and controlled, brushing the horizon level with your eyes until you come back facing forward, and undo the flow of your arms. Both arms are nice and elongated towards the sky, and slow and controlled, brush them down. For some of you, you can place this foot super easy here. For some of you, this pose is too intense. You're going to rest with your right foot in the inside of your left thigh. If this is still good for you, have it crossed over. If this is still easy and comfortable, bring it really high, so much so that the edge of your heel is really touching the low part of your abs. Deep inhale, lengthen both arms. And if this is too difficult on your hamstrings, have your belt wrapped around your toe and just a gentle pull. And maybe this is your pose if your hamstrings are super tight. Otherwise, we're going to walk those fingertips all the way down. Ready? Deep inhale, lengthen the arms up to the sky. Exhale with that same calm and controlled movement, brushing the air. We're folding forward. For me, this is the first edge. So crossing an edge is that point that we feel that the body needs to rest and relax so we can go deeper. So remember that we're always trying to listen to what the body brings today in that moment. And it doesn't matter how many times you have done yoga in your life and how flexible you know you are, it's how the practice is showing up for you today. This is pretty much what I was saying in the beginning. Yes, and I am distracting you so you can do a longer hold. This is the class of today, which is making sure that you're attending to what's showing up in you at every moment in time. We cannot keep on, as we see, we cannot having plans and plans and plans. What's showing up is this, and this is what we're going to deal with moment by moment. We must be very close to our last long deep breath here. If this was your edge and you're here, great. If your edge was further down, that would have been your pose, all the way relaxed, and see. It's not because it's deeper, it's better. It's what your body needs today. So this morning I had my own personal practice, and I did a yin session, which is like working on the fascia of the body, and it's really, we have bigger holds, and it was very, very productive, and that's why I'm inspired to put some of this in our practice today. Slow and controlled, start walking these hands all the way back, and we're going to swap legs. Nice. We're going to bring now the right knee folded in. For some of us, this is far too intense and on your knee. If this is the case, start moving the leg to the side and get into a wider angle. If this still is okay, you're going to have both knees trying to point forward. If this is super like, oh, I can't do this, this is not possible, too strong on the knees, whatever, then you're going to sit on your bolster. It just softens everything as you place your knee down from here. It makes the whole pose much easier. You sit on the edge of your cushion because it will help you fold backwards if this is going to be the variation that you're going to choose. Okay? If this is not, you're here with me with no support and no bolster, coming from here. From this variation, start bending your elbows as if we're walking down and backwards in the air, and place the left elbow and then the right. For some of you, this is super intense, and your pose will be maybe here. Again, you're going to feel and sync with your body. Normally, when we had too much or we're pushing it, the right knee starts coming off the mat, and you know that you have gone far too deep too soon. Keep pushing this leg down towards the floor as you rest your elbows down. We're going to focus on our breath again here. And make sure that you're not sitting on your heel, that there's space so that your bum bones are down on the floor. Same thing, engagement of the knee pulling down, resting, resting, and resting. Let the muscles of your thigh receive a nice deep stretch here. So you're noticing that we are in a different rhythm today. We are holding poses much more than we normally do in a power flow. So sometimes it's also important to allow the body to rest. It's not because you're home and technically with a easier routine for some, and for some not at all easy, right? So if you had domestic help and your domestic help cannot come, you most likely are enjoying the blessings of taking care of yourself, fully so, right? So sometimes it's not really because you're home, you're resting, especially when we are having super active minds, and that can be a non-resting place at all. So when I ask you to do a yin practice with me today, it's much more to get into that resting place, allowing the muscles to be in that position for a longer period than you would like to so many times, right? Exactly what's going on with us. We have to hold ourselves quite strongly, and we don't know how long it will last. And you have to remember also, come out of the pose, placing the palms of the hands down, coming out with safety. To come out of this pose and not harm the knee, bring the weight to your left and allow this leg to unfold. And as I was saying, deep inhale, I'll tell you later, deep exhale, wherever you land is your pose. Some of you can go really down, you're totally relaxed here, your neck is relaxed. And some of you, you're quite high, just relax from here. We're feeling the stretch in our hamstrings. Whatever is your pose, just stay there. And as I was saying, we have to also count on our resilience. Don't forget, just don't forget how resilient you are. And you have proven yourself to yourself so many times of your own resilience in different moments for different reasons. So never lose sight of that. Last long deep breath on this forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, nice and strong. And this time we're bringing our left knee very close from that very, very strong up straight position. We're starting to lean back as a block. Don't round your spine. Imagine I'm pushing you from your chest backwards. And super straight, right knee comes off the mat, and hold yourself super strong. Deepen the breath. So yes, it's core work, it's balance, it's focus, all of that in one. And 2 long, deep, steady breaths to go. 1 to go. And gently place that foot down. Find length on that spine again. We're crossing over again. Remember that one side of the body is not necessarily like, they are not necessarily like the other side. So see if it's okay for you to place this foot here, here, or maybe if that is too much, just have the foot on the side. See what works for you. Right hand really reaches up and wrap it around. Left hand is placed on the base of your spine, giving you that length. So you're really keeping the arm really close to your back. It touches your back actually. From that place, inhale, look forward, and exhale, look to the back. Now deepen the breath as much as you can. And the more you inhale, the more you throw the air to the low part of your belly, the more benefit you have into the spinal twists. Let's allow the internal organs to receive a massage, rubbing against each other, deepening the breath. Make sure you're not looking up, but keep the gaze to horizon level. Remember one thing, wherever you look, your pose goes. So you look down, all your energy goes down. So keep your gaze far out in the horizon level. And slow and controlled, blow the air over and gaze forward. Deep inhale. Exhale, let's undo the fold of your arms. Once again, brush this air down. Let's see if it's comfortable for you to have this ankle rest just on top of your knee joint or really high. See what's comfortable for you today. Nice. Make sure that your leg is really, your right knee is really pointing up towards the sky so you're not collapsed on your pose. Let's go. Let's see where the edge is on this side. And for me, the edge is here. I can, if I push myself, come all the way down. But like I always say in my practices, it's not because you can that you should. So let's pay attention to that sentence and apply it in other things. Yoga starts happening off our mats. To come and sit here and do a 60-minute practice, 90-minute practice, and master poses can make your ego feel amazing. But this is not why we're here. The way I see yoga is everything that you gain in terms of self-awareness and mental strength is to be applied in your daily life. So more than ever, we are being requested to apply whatever you have learned. Even if this is your first yoga class ever in your life, you start attuning yourself to them. There's always gain, and even a huge amount of self-respect can be taught in your yoga class as you don't push yourself, as you listen to what your body needs, as you back off in poses that are not necessarily amazing for you that day. Deeper breath to go. And slow and controlled. Lift up your head if it was hanging down, and let's start walking back, undoing this fold. Nice. And now they separate just a little bit wider than the edges of your mat, and the same thing. Let's start, flex the feet so you're holding your knees, really pointing up towards the sky, and start walking your hands. You're still on a super flat back here, so we're not rounding the spine, as if I'm pulling you towards me from your center, from the heart center. Palms of the hands are nice and flat, and tuck the chin into the chest on a total relaxed neck. Just stay. Deepen the breath. Relax a very heavy head. You might need to sway the neck as if you're doing no signs. Having the chin really close to your chest. Nice. One long, deep, steady breath before we go. And gently lift the gaze and start walking those fingertips all the way back in again. This time we're going to rotate our bodies towards our right leg and start walking those fingertips like shoulders are really beaming forward towards the right. Watch that your left leg doesn't start to collapse. Stay nice and open here. For me, this is my first edge. I'll stay here. For some of you, you can come all the way down and see the stretch in a different area of your body. So for me, that's my pose for today. I'm going to tuck my chin into my chest and I'm going to relax my forehead here. as I count 5 long, deep, steady breaths. Once you have found the good positioning of your toes, just relax so you don't have that engagement of flexing the toes all the time. They're relaxed and the stretch comes somewhere around here. Nice. And pay attention to where your body is being called forth. Now you must be very close to your last long, deep, steady breath. And bring your head slow and controlled. Walk your fingertips, bring back the hands to the center. And the same thing we will do with a wide and spread out angle. For some of you, this is your pose and we're here. The more you walk your elbows forward, the deeper you get into the pose. So let's start, regardless of your ability, let's start here and hold ourselves for a couple of breaths. Make sure you're not coming down on your pose, but have those shoulder blades active and allowing the head to be quite high. Deepening the breath. If you want, relax your head. Watch that those knees are not coming in. 2 to go. Relaxed. And slow and controlled. Bring the palms of the hands down to the floor. Weight is given to your hands and start walking those hands closer and closer to your body. Deep inhale, settle, lengthen the spine. Feel yourself very strong on your bum bones. I can feel I'm really grounded and my spine is very, very straight on this pose. Deep inhale. Exhale. Imagine you're twisting your shoulders all the way to the left. So now everything is facing the left and off we go. I could already find my first edge here. And I'll stay. Maybe tucking the chin into the chest and I'll relax here. As I use my breath, I may or may not find a way to come a bit further down. As I always say, just see what the side of the body wants to do for now. Deepening the breath, relax your bum. Last long, deep, focused breath. Relax, see if you can cross an edge, or maybe not, see what the body wants to do. And slow and controlled. Let's walk those fingertips back all the way. Hold your legs from the outside and bring your knees together. Nice. Feet are finding the floor here, nice and strong. Now let's drop. The right knee is going to be nice and straight, and the left knee folds. So we're swapping sides from exactly where we started. See how you want to come back. If you want to come back on your elbows, if you're going to be on the palms of the hands. If this is too much for you, have the knees a little bit wider and see if it works for you. And if this is not a pose for you today, rest with the foot inside. Deepen the breath, come on your elbows. If you really feel that this is completely okay for you, remember that I'm not sitting on my heels. Come all the way down and you maybe lie down here and just feel the total benefit of this huge stretch on your left thigh. We're normally trying to adjust both sides, that you do the same kind of practice on both sides. So I'm just showing you how that would look like. Keep on pushing the left knee down towards the floor, and I'll go for my choice on the other side, which was somewhere here. Keeping that core tight, tucking the belly in, and pushing the left knee down on the earth. Really benefiting from this deep holds, deep stretches. And one of the things that's important in yoga practice is always to find balance. Remember what I keep on saying, it's not about being all young and fiery and having all that energy in you, even though Normally, we are very attracted for practices that we feel comfortable. It doesn't necessarily that this is what you need, right? Or this is actually even good for you at the moment, but you're normally attracted to what's easy or comfortable for you. And now we try to balance that. Yes, it's important to bring vitality and strength and stamina and energy to the body, but it's as important to have a yin practice in between, where you just really stretch, finding a way to have that fascia, that little thin, smooth part of the muscles, and even the bones are covered with fascia. And this exercise is by holding them, holding the poses for longer, allow you to make that fascia somehow much stronger, right? So receive, there's something called the fuzz. I'm gonna come out of this pose just now. And just drop the weight down to your right elbow, coming out of the pose with safety. Sway that knee. I'll talk about that just now. Relaxing all the way. Nice. We're gonna bring the soles of your feet together, far away from your hips, so it's not really a butterfly pose so connected to the hip, but further out. Now deep inhale, lengthen, and exhale, tuck it in. Maybe for some of you, the arms are relaxed a little bit further down. Some of you want to hold on your feet and relax the head here. So that first that I was talking about, this fuzz that, is kind of layers and layers that get created while we sleep. So whenever you wake up and the muscles are sore, we have those layers on top of our muscles. And as you bring movement, that dissolves. If you have an injury or if you're stagnant, you haven't practiced, you're not using that part of your body, it's layer over layer over layer, which becomes hard. When you go to physio or you book a massage and you have that spread out, you feel much better. If you have a practice that moves you physically, you feel much better. So in this kind of deep holds that we stay in poses for longer, we are allowing the connective tissue to receive a release. And this is so important. Tuck the chin in, look down, and stay. Last long, deep breath. With a lot of control, tuck the chin into the chest and see if you can walk your hands further down on the outside of your feet, on the floor, bend the elbows. See what's comfortable for you. Remember not to lift your bum off the floor, so you should be relaxed on your shoulders and very heavy sacrum, very heavy bum bone down. Relaxing the neck. Deepening that breath, softening the shoulders, relax your facial muscles. Last long focus, slow, steady breath, and very slowly start bringing yourself all the way up again. Nice. We're gonna bring the right knee bent, so you really want the leg to be parallel to the mat, and maybe the left can come right on top. Now, this can be quite an advanced pose for many people. If you have tight hip flexors, your legs will look somehow like this, and you can place a block and rest here. If it's still like, oh, for me this doesn't work, you can have even something bigger, thicker, that you can just rest your leg and come over. So see what works for you today and have it placed. Ready? So your right knee is under. Same thing, let's start walking our fingertips forward. Nice long deep breath. I can already feel my first edge and it's really stretching on the outside of my left leg. Deeper breath to go. Tucking the chin into the chest, relax. Maybe even place your elbows down on the floor and your head is relaxed here. Some of you might benefit from having the placement of the block and then the bolster even a bit higher. These blocks hold. And this would be a pose. You can hold yourself here, place the head on the bolster, and relax. Still benefiting from the stretch on the outside of the left leg. Remember, you can always pile your cushions at home. I don't expect everybody to have a bolster like this, but it works. If you don't have anything, you can just keep on going all the way down. Wherever is your stopper that's comfortable, you're gonna stay. Remember that in those poses, we want to find whatever part of the body is not being challenged for the stretch to be relaxed. You know, like when something is happening and you're contracting the face, I'm like, well, this part of the body is not being called forth in this pose. So we kind of keep connecting things that don't need to be connected. So now this is the part of the body and there's a lot of spinal, low back and spinal stretch. So let's see if we can agree with the body to relax everything else forward. Let's deepen the breath here. Remember when we were talking before, the sense of resilience. You know, if you're dying to back off the pose, take a deep breath. Exhale deeper. See if it's a true desire to back off because it's not useful for you or you're chickening out of the pose. Find the difference between those two actions. Slow and controlled. Let's start walking those hands closer and closer to your legs. And we're going to swap sides. Before we swap sides, allow your feet to be placed in parallel lines, and we call this the window wiper. As we let the body drop, I like to go full on and find a twist also on my hip. Just makes me feel good for my hips. You don't need to go all the way down if you don't want to. Inhale, come up. Exhale, swap. And the smaller variation of this pose is just relaxing, resting the knee. You can have your fingers pointing backwards. And 1 to go. And really, really nice. We're going to swap sides. This time the left is under, the right is on top. For some of you, one leg stays really high, on the other side, the other leg is quite good. See how your body is for today. Deep inhale. Let's start walking those fingertips forward and forward and forward. Maybe here is your edge. Maybe that's where you drop your head. That's maybe where you're gonna drop your elbow and relax. As you're focused on your breath, close your eyes and you take your attention where the body is being stretched. Imagine you can throw air. As you breathe, you can push air into that part of the body that's requesting the big stretch. Some of you can have a block to support the forehead, even on the high block, or you can put the cushion here. Also works. Watch that your sacrum is not coming out from the mat, so there's a tendency of the pelvis wanting to roll forward. Round it, like basculate it down, of the intention to be grounded by your bum bones. Keep deepening the breath. And today we are doing a practice that's all on the floor, and there's a purpose for me to have chosen to do this practice with you today, as I find that today for some reason we are really needed to feel this grounding and the floor beneath us instead of jumping around and sweating, and which is great for some days, but for some reason that's what I felt was the call of the day. And then gently start walking your fingertips all the way back. Today is the 4th of April, when the world is stopping to unite in meditation, and as you all know, I'm a firm believer of the power of collective meditation. So I think to feel grounded and more connected is a perfect practice for today. We're going to wrap up this practice by getting into a very, very nice Savasana. Like I told you the other day, I like to rest with my legs on the bolster. It just totally works for my body. So I'll open my knees this way and I'll just lie back with my arms open or bent up in cactus. See what works for you. So now it's Savasana time, it's resting time. Just lay on your back and allow yourself to find relaxation here in the best way possible. I'll be sitting up, sitting on my bolster, which is a fantastic way for you to have a flat back if you're beginning with your meditation practice. Just sit on the edge of a cushion or a bolster. It really helps you lengthen the spine and your knees will drop down. So it's quite comfortable to stay here for a longer period of time. Finding yourselves on your backs, relaxed against the mat. And just for now, focus on the breath. Deepening the breath consciously. Inhaling fully, exhaling slowly. Inhaling fully, exhaling slowly. As you're relaxed and commanding the whole body to soften and relax against the earth, imagine that you get so heavy, so heavy. It's almost like you start piercing the earth beneath you, coming into your yoga mat, so relaxed, so heavy. Feet relax, shins relax, calf muscles relax. Knee joints relax. Back of the knees relax. Thighs relax. Back of your legs relax. Hip soft and heavy. Bum relax. Pelvis relax. Abdominal area heavy and relaxed. Low spine heavy on the mat. All your spine all the way up to the shoulders, whole back relax. All the front part of the body and chest relax. Shoulder blades heavy, relax. And arms soft and relaxed. Elbows, forearms relaxed and heavy, hands, fingertips, relax, back of the neck, relax, front of the neck, relax, facial muscles, relax, back of the head where you touch the floor, connected and relaxed. Top of your head and your scalp relax. Your whole body is soft, heavy and relaxed. In this state of relaxation you recuperate, rejuvenate, restore. As we allow those deep stretches to happen, find a way of the fascia of the body receiving a nice flow of blood, all this connective tissue to do the work better, to serve you better. You're giving attention to every single part of your body. And slow and controlled, take your attention to your body, just observing how you're feeling after your practice. See the parts of the body that feel activated, heavy, alive, maybe tender. And let's wake up the tippy toes, moving the tippy toes. Stay with all the rest of the body relaxed. Activating tippy fingers. Making little circles with your ankles. Change direction of these little circles. Making big circles with your ankles, wide circles. Change direction of those wide circles with your ankles. Bringing that movement to your wrists. Small movement first. Make this movement bigger. And gently start swaying the neck from right to left and left to right as if you're doing slow motion, no movements. Really bringing ear to the mat and then all the way to the other side. Move slowly as you start waking up the body. Use your breath as you exhale. You blow the air and let the other ear reach the mat on the other side. Going back to the center again. Bend your right leg, allow your right foot to be nice and flat on the floor so that your right knee is pointing up towards the sky. Do the same thing with the left. Allow both knees to fall to the right. Roll yourself to the right, picking up your left arm and resting in fetal position on your right side. Allow your energy to adjust and bring yourself into an easy sitting position, whatever works for you. Sometimes we feel dizzy as we do this transition, so you allow your energy to settle. Even the breath. Exhale. Hands come to your heart center. Palms of the hands touch. And here we create gratitude for having a healthy physical body, for being committed. Not always we are in the mood to be doing our physical practice, and I get you with all my heart. But the importance of this committed to feeling healthy and keeping these joints healthy, supple, and really working for us is fundamental. So we create gratitude for our own presence in this practice today. Namaste. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. The light that lives within me greets and sees the light that lives with you. Thank you. Obrigada. Have a wonderful day. Until tomorrow.